Hello Virgo, Virgo rising and Virgo moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting November 6th, 2017. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com. So what is going on this week in your astrology? Well, on Thursday, we've got the Sun in Scorpio in your third house of communications, pacts, and promises, forming a lovely sextile angle to Pluto, currently in your fifth house of love and romance and relationships with your kids. And this could actually speed along a development in a romantic plan, or again, some kind of plan that you've got going on with your kids if we're trying to perhaps actually get some kind of special affair, like an event, or maybe a travel plan, or some kind of activity, started, maybe with, with our partner, with our kids, with the whole family, and we've been kind of having it be delayed. It's, there's something special going on about this where we're kind of making room for this new routine or this new rule. The Sun in the third house can also speed up developments when it comes to dialogues, or again, moving things along that have been a bit sluggish. If you and a partner, or you and somebody you're dating, have been kind of, maybe stuck in a bit of a rut, or maybe kind of stuck in a bit of a lifestyle, a bit of a pattern you're both trying to get out of, this is definitely going to set the new rule or the new tone for that relationship. So it's all well and good all the way around. On Saturday, we've got Saturn, planet of restrictions and boundaries and order, in your fourth house of home and family, forming a lovely trine to Uranus, currently in your eighth house of shared resources and passive income, as well as debts and things like that. And it looks like we're going to be bringing some order to chaos when it comes to these matters. And with Saturn in the fourth trying to Uranus in the eighth, there may actually be some kind of really, really good opportunity to start paring down some expenses that have been really holding you back, as far as maybe, again, whether it's loans, credit cards, possibly venture capital, anything that where you've been kind of noticing more money's going out than it possibly should. And this development's going to come through a home or family opportunity. This may be a good opportunity for a lot of you who are trying to maybe make some money out of the home or out of a home situation, whether it's, renting, selling, or possibly, getting a roommate or something like that. There's all kinds of good news as far as money coming in to kind of cushion or perhaps even stop an outward flow of money that we wish to slow down. If it's been getting a bit expensive out in there, this is exactly the kind of thing you want to see. Saturn can be good to you. For your spiritual advice when it comes to your cards, we do have the card of Serendipity. And this card is basically saying bright new prospects are on the horizon. And when we talk about bright new prospects on the horizon, there's going to be, again, something brand new in the offering coming to you that, really we don't know how to fit this in. This might be something that we need to start getting ready to make room for when it comes to a bright new prospect, whether it's room in terms of time, room in terms of social ability. This actually could be a new prospect that's not necessarily financial or mundane or material. This could be a romantic prospect. This could be a travel prospect, an education prospect. But the Serendipity card is basically saying it's being put in your path for you to seriously consider and give more time to. What can happen sometimes is if we get really bogged down or mentally preoccupied with either what's going on in the present or what's going on in the past, and then suddenly we have an out or we have a stroke of good fortune, we may not be emotionally available to it. Well, the truth of the matter is emotional availability is the key to successful manifestation. It's the key to successful co-creation. If we're not, we can only create vibrations and only vibrate what we're emotionally available to. So get cracking, okay? You know how I talk tough love to all of us Virgos. You're used to it by now. If you're new, get used to it soon. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the Eight of Swords upright. And it does look like, again, there is an opportunity coming our way for an escape from something that's kept us trapped for quite some time. But again, the Eight of Swords is saying that it may actually take a little bit of mental finesse and some creativity for everyone involved to see it. The Eight of Swords can indicate that perhaps a business partner or a client or a customer may be actually very, very frustrating this week, or a boss, or even a new company, because they're holding up the works for a situation that they don't necessarily need to hold up the works for. remember what I always say about the Eight of Swords. We think when I'm teaching, in my tarot class, the Tarot Home Study course, I make a point of saying, look, she's tied up, yes, but she can cut herself free on the swords, she can get her blindfold off, but she won't. Now, the key word is won't, not can't, no matter what you think is going on. And usually with the Eight of Swords, it does have to do with, again, somebody being very, very preoccupied or very, very, distracted by something to the point of paralysis. I would definitely do some investigating to see what's really holding up the works here, because this could be delaying an inevitable hire, or an inevitable new schedule, or an inevitable bit of good fortune coming your way. But we've got to go and find out, well, why won't this person do it? It's not about can't. They're perfectly capable. They just won't, for whatever reason, and it's time to get some investigating going on. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, and the others in your life, we do have the Knight of Swords upright. Some unexpected help could be coming your way from an air sign, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or Libra, or somebody with those qualities, because the Knight of Swords is always somebody coming to, I always say, champion our cause, defend our goals, work as almost like a proxy of us, to work on our behalf. And the Knight of Swords could indicate somebody who is going out and fighting a battle for you this week, whether it's a friend or a relative or a lover. This person is decided to go and fight a battle that maybe it's on a front that you can't take care of right now. This is actually a stroke of good news, though, because it's like we have an extra pair of eyes and an extra pair of hands this week. Please let this person do what they're going to do, because it may not necessarily be something you want other people to do for you. It's hard for us sometimes to accept help when it's offered. Even harder if they're going and perhaps handling something in a way we wouldn't normally handle it, but they may have a better plan in the first place. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Six of Pentacles upright. Again, accepting help when it's offered your way. Accepting assistance when it's offered your way. Sometimes it's not done right when you do it yourself, especially when you have emotional biases or, again, a lot of distractions. And this can be, a good lesson. Luckily, it's a lesson with some good incentive as well. And the Six of Pentacles upright as a challenge can also say this week, Virgo, you yourself may need to make some very, very tough decisions about where you give your help and your energy. One of the biggest things about the Six of Pentacles is it talks all about, okay, look, sometimes we give to the loudest squeaking wheel. We give to the person who screams and yells and throws the biggest tantrum, and gets into histrionics and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean they're deserving. That just means they're loud and we're just shutting them up. This week, it's not good to just shut somebody up. What we really need to be doing is focusing on the good energy going to the people who do deserve it. And sometimes it's the most humble, the most subtle, or the people who are not looking for it either. And there's a big difference between that and the person freaking out. Okay, so it's an important thing to learn. It's an important, that kind of discernment is kind of hard to do, especially nowadays where we kind of reward and enjoy drama. And I think that, again, tarot will take us back to common sense. So let's move on to your emotions with water and your romantic life. We do have the Two of Swords reversed. And the Two of Swords reversed actually is a nice reversed card, especially for love, because it does talk about commitment and committability. And for those of you who are currently maybe in a situation where you don't know what you feel about two options or more options, the Two of Swords reversed can help you reach that conclusion. In fact, you may reach that conclusion this week. The Two of Swords reversed does talk about commitment and people actually committing to each other as well, or maybe even deciding to downsize a little bit of what they are doing to make more time for one another. And the Two of Swords reversed could say that you and a partner are also deciding to start eliminate or trim some of the fat that's been, again, taking up some space in the time that you could be having for each other and your families. So this week it's all about getting closer by, again, getting rid of some of that clutter, whether it's social clutter, emotional clutter, literal clutter. We're actually kind of paying attention to where that is most necessary, and I think that's where we're also making room for these bright new prospects supposedly on the horizon. So that is your horoscope, Virgo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.